it feels like we get to this point in draft and there seems to be always one prospect every year that is overhyped and everybody's focusing all their attention on. This year it is absolutely Marvin Harrison Jr. We're looking at 6'4", 205, out of Ohio State, obviously got those NFL bloodlines, had a phenomenal last 2 years. Do you think the hype is warranted, or do you think that perhaps we're putting the hype for the course and maybe overhyping him a little bit?
No, the hype's warranted for Marvin Harrison. I mean, we can talk about so many different things about his athletic ability or however you want to talk about it, but what this man has is otherworldly body control. I don't know that we've seen somebody with this type of body control in years. So not only does he have amazing route running, not only is he polished, not only is he ready for the NFL, I mean, he just has everything you're looking for from a player. But then on top of that, if he doesn't happen to get open all the way, have that separation we've seen from him in a lot of plays, or the throw is a little behind him, a lot of back shoulder throws, whatever it might be, that's where he shines. No more than if you look at when he took his inside foot against Indiana and tapped down on what has to be arguably the greatest college catch I've ever seen in my life. I mean, what this guy can do with bad throws, which there were a fair amount of them coming out of the Ohio State quarterbacks, is amazing. So what you get from Marvin Harrison is not only the route running, not only the separation, not only the leverage, not only the prototypical size, but then a man 6'4" that can contort his body in the way that he does. He is going to be unstoppable at the NFL level. He's the guy we've been hoping to have come out for years now, and a person that realistically, he is already for me in that God tier of dynasty wide receivers with Chase, Jefferson, and Lamb. That's how confident I am that Marvin Harrison explodes regardless of where he lands.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't watch a huge amount of college football. I dive in once we get to January of the draft, and I watch as much as I can of all of these prospects. Whenever there's a player that gets hyped, the kind of, I guess, contrarian in me is always sort of looking to go, okay, Marvin Harrison's supposed to be the next coming. Let's plug on the tape, and maybe people are just overhyping him. I don't think they are. I think prototypical size. I think he is a phenomenal route technician. Given there's not many 6'4" guys that can move the way he does. It is phenomenal. Amazing hands. Amazing going away from his body to make difficult grabs. I think contested catches. You talked about the body control. He's got an amazing ability to contort his body and make those grabs that are difficult look very routine. My slight knock is I don't know if he is a elite athlete. I think he is still a very good NFL athlete. I just don't think he's a guy that's going to win with raw speed or raw agility. But there's not many guys built the way he is that do that. And I think that he's a good enough all-round receiver that he doesn't need that elite athleticism to win. I think he wins in a range of different ways. So yeah, I completely agree with you. I think he's, it's not often we can get elite quarterbacks coming out of a draft and we're already talking about a wide receiver, whether he should be taken in around them. I think he's absolutely in the conversation for the 101 and should easily be the first non-quarterback drafted in this year's draft. You talked about him being in that God tier. So for you, he's a top 4 dynasty wide receiver before he's even stepped on the football field?
Yeah, I have him right now teetering between 4 and 5. Realistically, be looking for a 1-to-1 value comp. It would be Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's at that level for me. Probably have him slightly above A.J. Brown if I was looking at ranking him today. That's how confident I am in this player and in what he's going to do in the NFL. I think those guys are both outstanding wide receivers, so I don't want people thinking year one, if this was redraft, that's where I'm putting him. But I think out of those 3 that we just named, Marvin Harrison Jr. has the largest amount of potential to become the wide receiver 1 in dynasties. So that real difference maker, that guy who can land you the major trade package if you're rebuilding, or the guy who can anchor your team like a Justin Jefferson has for the past few years now, that's Marvin Harrison. So that's where I have him ranked in my dynasty ranks right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty much right there. I would have Amon-Ra St. Brown ahead of him, but that's almost purely just because I'm a little bit more. I want to see it. I know that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be a top type 5 wide receiver, but it's pretty much neck and neck between him and Marvin Harrison. So yeah, I could definitely flip it and have them rank the other way.